Hi everyone, welcome to Divine Sacred Tarot. Now, I'm getting a lot of ascension that is happening for the Divine Feminines and obviously the first awakened. So, if you are identifying as a Divine Masculine here, I feel like you probably are having a lot of ascension symptoms, a lot of higher purpose, and you may be feeling fatigued, restless even. So it could be two ends of the spectrum. Now I've labeled it as divine masculine, but that's not 100% for all of you. This is a divine masculine who is truly feeling lost. And some of you could identify with your person being the divine feminine, being in their divine masculine energy, because they may be communicating with you, they may be instigating communication. And what I'm seeing here is there is some sort of karmic block, some sort of protection for you, but also a karmic block for them because they need to go through almost like it's not a taste of their own medicine, but it kind of is. That's the type of energy I'm getting, um, which is it's a huge shame because I guess that when we as first awakened are here, we know how difficult this journey is. We know how painful it can be, but we've also acknowledged and accepted where we are, what we're doing. Because of that, the divine counterpart probably has taken their time. And as a consequence of those actions, of those seemingly delays, nothing's really a delay when it comes to divine timing, but these seemingly type of delays has caused the masculine to reach out prematurely. And that premature communication is also allowing them to go, oh, I need to get involved in this. I need to be present in her reality and his reality. But I also am stuck for words. I'm lost for what to say. Like there is this energy that the divine counterparts are really feeling that they're missing out, that they see their life as black and white and they see you and your life in color. Like that's all of the energy that I'm feeling right now towards the counterparts. So the second awakened are just wallowing in self-pity and remorse and pain and finding ways to communicate with you, or they will be. It could be in the astral if you're not in 3D communication. It could also be in the astral. So this is significant because it's teaching the both of you, you who is the first awakened, it's giving you access to color your rainbow, be creative, light up your own sky. That's the type of energy. And it's actually the more you do that as the first awakened, the more you're allowing your divine counterpart to do the same. You're giving them access. And I get that because you've been giving them, because you've been giving yourself the brush of color, the brush of sparkle, celebration. Like it may not feel it physically, but the things that you're choosing for yourself are highly energized, are highly protected and blessed. So it's giving your counterpart the ability to see that and choose to elevate. So, what is their current energy at this time? The Tower. Honestly, you can't make it up. Number 7. This is the best card that the divine counterpart could be receiving at this time because it means they're breaking through. In a previous reading, I did actually say how the divine counterpart has been given an opportunity, how both of you are giving opportunities by challenges, by lessons. This is a very good thing. When you are going through a lesson, know you are being upgraded. Know that this is an opportunity. And I feel like a lot of you are seeing that now. You're seeing these things as opportunistic. And because of that, because you're seeing it not in a positive way, in the blessing, you can see the blessing in it. Because of that, the counterpart, whether they identify as a divine masculine or feminine energy, right now, the divine masculine energy is wanting sustenance, it's wanting feeding, but it's also needing to be particularly aware of what type of nutrition or what type of sustenance it needs. This is quite a big energy for the counterparts, and it is very beautiful. But I also see that having this tower moment, having challenges and unwavering emotions, stuck for words, wanting to communicate in the astral, is a very positive sign that they do want to choose the union with themselves, because that is the only way through to you. A couple of months ago, I remember quoting Meredith's quote, and she says, "If you want to be with me, you have to get to source energy, you have to get to God energy." And what I mean by that is you are in union and harmony with yourself. So, in order for your counterpart to get to you, they need to get to God. They need to get to source energy. And that is where the alignment and union is. For you who are listening, you are already in this alchemical divine masculine and divine feminine union. So, in order for your masculine or feminine, your counterpart, to meet you in physical union, is they meet you in the astral, they meet you in the spiritual, they meet you in a high vibrational energy where God, where source exists. So, they need to meet themselves first in order to go further forward in this path. So it's a very important tower to say they are choosing. Because you've chosen yourself, they are being encouraged to choose themselves. And they don't need to. They absolutely don't need to. But there is this trajectory that is happening for all twin flames where your counterpart is now understanding, in order for me to get to my counterpart, which is you who is listening, they need to level up to themselves. They need to create a life that is worth that sustenance, worth a flourishing, and they need to present. So, okay, so the visual that I just got is Travis Kelce had created a whole freaking garden to propose to Taylor Swift. That is literally what I'm seeing, is the divine masculine needs to co-create with source energy, not only to create their own happiness, their own abundance, which is what you have been doing this whole time. It's taken a little bit of a detour and you've had loads of challenges, but I feel for those of you who are listening that you understand, you get it. You get the game. You know the puzzle pieces now. You know the agenda. And because the divine counterpart is now coming to the awareness of that realization, they are now understanding, oh, I need to sow my own seeds. I need to create my own color. And that will attract beauty, radiance, love, light, all this energy. So basically, if you create a wild, beautiful garden, the insects will come, the beautiful butterflies and the beautiful birds will come. So you don't need to go out and chase them. You don't need to cage them. They will come because they are attracted to the pollen, to the specific flowers that you have seeded. Now, why I went back to Travis Kelce is because he orchestrated that garden in order for Taylor to come out into it, to actually spend time there. That was the hoax. Let's go have a drink in the garden. And that could be so freaking simple, but underlying it, underlying the foundation, we've got the concrete, we've got the soil. No, forget the concrete. It's the soil, right? There's concrete in certain places, there's soil, there's a flourishing pathway of all these scented, beautiful flowers. And there is a place that you feel grounded in that. I feel like for a lot of you who do um, truly want to ground yourself in Mother Nature, those are the things that attract you. And so it's not hard. But in the when you look at the bigger perspective, the counterpart has felt quite lost about it. What's the challenge about this? Wow, the Four of Swords and the Lovers card. Now, isn't it interesting because in the divine feminine energy, I did a Celtic cross as well, and we had the Tower, and it was the Lovers card in that as well. So if you haven't seen that reading, please go back. And I feel like, what was the reading called? Cutting cords to come home. I think it was that reading, cutting cords to come home. So that's really interesting. Okay, let's have a look at the Four of Swords and the Lovers. This is a decision that they could only make when they're at peace with themselves. You know how meditation for a lot of people say, I can't meditate, I can't sit still. Yeah. Why? Because your thoughts are running rampant, because you haven't given your nervous system time to deregulate, because you haven't been able to make peace with yourself. Now, you who are listening to this, you find aspects of radiation, meditation, and you radiate that positive energy because it's almost like if any of you who are painters or creators, you get lost and the time just goes and you're like, wow, what happened there? I don't know where the time went because you are not thinking, you're just creating. And that's the type of energy that the divine counterpart need to address. So it may not be they need to sit still and meditate. It may mean that they just need to create and not think anymore. And that is bringing them back to themselves, which is why the Lovers card is here. It's bringing them back home to themselves. Okay, so I'm also seeing cord cutting with the karmic. So maybe they're doing that as well. What is the root of the energy? The Ace of Wands. This is a very positive card to have in the root chakra. Now, usually we associate fire with the solar plexus, but if you realize the chakra system, we've got the root, the sacral, and the um, solar plexus chakra all in the three-dimensional. This is where our root of fears, of pain, ancestral wounds, trauma, they all are housed usually in those lower three chakras. So it takes a little bit of time to cleanse those areas. Now, what I'm seeing here is the burning, the fire that the divine counterpart has been feeling, possibly by you. Because if you're dreaming, if you're meditating on seeing light, well, that's a reflection back on your energy. Now, your person's energy, I'm seeing that they are feeling the residual heat. I actually said this in a reading before. They don't want to get too close to the fire, and the fire is you. So they don't want to get too close to the fire and burn, but they also don't want to be too far away to not feel the heat. They need that middle ground. So they're trying to understand how they tame the fire. So they may not be speaking up or they may be lost for words or speechless because they see you in awe, right? They are in awe of you, but they also need to be in awe of themselves. So that's what you're reflecting back to them. What has happened in the past energy? We've got the Emperor card. Now, it's really ironic because I remember placing these cards down and I thought about putting the number 4 card down in the root area. So I feel like these are transactional. Why I said that is because there was a reason why my intuition had asked me to flip the cards and put the number four card. Obviously, I hadn't seen it, but back facing down, I had thought maybe that's not where the root is. Why? Because in the past, they've been given examples of a strong leader foundation, a strong masculine foundation, but they've chosen not to go there. I don't know why. Obviously, everybody's going to have different reasons. And obviously, I am open for personal readings. So if you want to get in touch, head over to divinesacredtarot.com. I won't ever reach out and ask you for buying personal readings. So this is literally use your own discernment, use your intuition, go to my website. So this Emperor energy is almost like they've been dilly-dallying back and forth. Do I want to become the emperor? What about the responsibilities that like when people say I want to be a CEO of a company, they don't realize how much work they need to do to be in that position. I know this one successful woman had actually sold her company because she didn't want to be a CEO. She knew that she wouldn't best serve the company in that role, and she was a creator. So she created the company, but she eventually sold it off because she didn't want to take on that role. That's not, she knew what fit her. Now, the divine counterpart, what your person is doing is they're trying to understand what fits them. Now, some of them could be in this leadership role. And what I'm seeing is they've been back and forth on, oh, okay, so I'm receiving a message. You know how some people feel like imposter syndrome? Like I feel like they are contemplating that type of energy. They feel like a bit of an imposter doing this. I feel like they do need a little bit more confidence in themselves, a little bit more self-worth. And this is why you are in separation. There are a few people in union, and you're able to deal with this situation in union. And for some of you who are in union, you are probably feeling the remnants of their sense of self-worth, right? And they do need your support in that. But when you're in separation, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to encourage your person. But I feel like they do see you as a cheerleader, as a person who truly does encourage them. And I feel like they are missing that from their lives. It's almost like who do I want to speak to about my wins? Who do I want to speak to about my shit day? Like that's what the type of energy you're bringing up during the separation. So what's happening around the strength energy? 10 of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, pardon me, 10 of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. So this is very positive because I always see the Six of Pentacles as equal give and receiving, equal give and take. Why is that important? Because Six of Pentacles has been a very rough topic for the divine feminines. It was really, really hard for you to receive because you were such a giver. Now, I feel like the divine counterpart might have been the opposite. They were very easily persuaded by selfish ways. They always wanted to put themselves first, but now they are trying to understand how can I be more giving? How can I be in this energy of sharing? So I feel like that is very beautiful because they're letting go, and that is the strength. They're seeing the wounds, they're seeing the challenges. The Ten of Swords are here just to go, I see all of that. I acknowledge it. I'm not shoving it under the carpet. I'm actually taking accountability of that. And the Six of Pentacles is saying, I'm going to have to start small. I'm going to have to just start and ask. And I may come across as a little bit of aloof, but that is literally what I need to do right now. And I commend all divine counterparts who are taking the risk to do this. So just keep going, keep persevering. So what's happening in the future energy? Oh wow, the Ten of Cups and the Temperance. The future energy is yours. I'm also seeing 24, 10 of Cups, 14, 5, change, alchemy. They are going to come into the divine masculine, feminine rebalance. And I feel like this is really important because they hadn't given themselves credit for the time, for the work that they've been doing. They haven't really given themselves that chance of, I am trying. And I feel like this is more of a awakening in terms of, oh, this is the path. Oh, this is what I've been doing. Oh, it's kind of like all the puzzle pieces are kind of coming together. And I feel like that is quite important for the divine masculine to understand. No, it didn't make sense in the past, but it is totally making sense now because it's becoming clearer and clearer. I feel like that is why there is this energy of awareness. There is this, oh, I get it. The puzzle pieces are coming together. Oh, I get why we were doing this. I understand now. And the Ten of Cups is the ultimate happiness card. If you think about it, you can't have the Ten of Cups before the Ten of you can't have the Ten of Pentacles before the Ten of Cups because the foundation is love. When you are built from the light source energy, when you emanate, radiate from love, more and more, more and more, more and more things come. So, what about your energy? Who is listening here? Ten of Pentacles. You can't make it up. You can't have the 10 of Pentacles without the 10 of Cups. So their future energy is bringing in access. They're opening up the floodgates to the 10 of Cups. And this is verbatim. This is what I said. This is your energy. You are the one bringing in the 10 of Pentacles because you already have the 9 Pentacles. You already know what the Queen energy of the Queen of Pentacles holds. You are the one who creates the abundance in this reality. Yes, they can create and manifest, but they need the fuel to the fire, and you are the fuel. And that's why sometimes they're so scared of themselves and the potential that they can become because they don't want to let themselves down. They don't want to let you down. And they have this sense of fear of failure. What about their energy? The magician, honestly. Yeah, they are powerful. They are miracle manifestors. But their whole ability to unlock fortune, they think that this is happiness, that this is success, that this is abundance. They have no idea how beautiful the garden can be until you radiate your light. That is the message. That is the message of this reading. They think they are living in black and white, and that is the only color that they can see. And all of a sudden, you shine and you expose the colors. That is freaking amazing. What's the shadow energy? The Nine of Pentacles, yeah. They're stuck on this Nine of Pentacles. They don't know how to move forward because they've never experienced this level of abundance. So they've not really connected the dots because they were like, yeah, but this is all there is. You can't get any better than this. This is it. Don't expect more. You're just going to be disappointed. It's just going to fail. So just be happy with what you've got because right now it's enough. But they're settling. They're settling with themselves. They're settling with where the connection is right now. But then unaware that you can get into the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles energy. The door is closed until they meet themselves, which then in turn links them to source energy, and that is where they find you. What is the outcome of this situation? The Justice card. Number 11, 11, 11, if you're seeing that. I feel like this is a very prominent 11, 11 message anyway. This divine counterpart hasn't been given the ability to see themselves for who they want to be, who they are. And so they've ended up missing out on the color. You know, they've been seeing life in such a mundane way, and they thought that that was the abundance. They thought that that was life because they've seen quite a lot of disappointment and pain. So they've gotten used to that channel, that frequency, until you came in and you shifted the frequency. You retuned the radio signal. And you were like, wait a second, why are you watching this in black and white? There's color, there's 4D, there's 4K, there's HD, there's all these different experiences. And that is what I'm feeling for the divine counterpart. And that is a taste of them understanding their own potential and the potential of this connection. That was a huge confirmation, by the way. My stomach just literally barked at me. So if that is something, if those messages are something that you've resonated with, please let me know. I don't know what's happening with the algorithm. I don't know why these messages aren't being seen by the collective. Maybe they're not meant to. Maybe they are just meant for those particular individuals like yourself who are high vibrational. So if you are this high vibrational individual, let me know if this resonated. Like the video, comment with some emojis, and I would love to hear from you. I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.